Welcome back, everybody. It's time to return to Ravnica. That's right. Picked up a couple of these boxes. Got a pretty good deal on them, and I've really been wanting to break into one and see how much value I get out of them to see if I want to get some more, because the buyer I got them from still has a few more left. So, I loved the Ravnica set the first time around, the original Guilds of Ravnica and Dissension and Guild Pack? Yeah, Guild Pack. I love drafting that set, or that whole block there. I had a lot of fun. I love the shock lands. I thought it was a great alternative to not reprinting the fetch land, or the dual lands, but still giving us a dual land that was pretty powerful. I don't mind sacking 2 life to get a dual land on the board. That's fine with me. I hope my games don't last long enough that 2 life really matters to me, or 4 life, or 6 life, you know. So I try to end them as quick as possible. But let's break into here. Now we will have to be a little bit slower with this box because there are a lot of uncommons worth money in this set as well. Not just the rares and mythics in here, but we actually have several uncommons. We've got the Vandal Blast, the Sphere of Safety, the Sphere of Safety, and all the charms too. So we'll definitely want to keep an eye out for those. We're going to bust this entire 36 packs of Ravnica goodness. Is it right there hanging out with Jace? All one time. So let's see what we get. See if there's anything good in here. I'm not sure about these boxes. First one I've opened. So yeah, this was during the time I wasn't playing at all. So I missed these whole sets here. I'm not sure what I'm going to find in here, so I'm not sure how they pull or how well they do. So let's find out. Start breaking into them. Yeah. What do you guys think of this set and this whole block? I know that these aren't really selling for a lot, and the Gatecrash and Dragon's Maze are considered some of the worst sets out there. You know, people just kind of seem to hate those sets from this block. So let me know what you guys thought of this block, if you were around when you were drafting it. But we'll just kind of go through stuff a little quickly. But there's a Golgari charm. Lotleth Troll is our first rare, so I don't think that's much to write home to mom about there. Let's keep going. Try and get through these kind of quick, but we do have to check the uncommons last. But I'm not going to read them all off or anything. We'll just kind of move through them. Obviously, the shock lands are kind of the big thing we're looking for here. Silentia charm, not one of the better ones, but still the charms are all kind of that, 75 cents to $1 range, I think. Azorius charm, another one. So we're getting a lot of charms. Oh, there's our first mythic. It's Asperia, Supreme Judge. Don't think it's one of the better mythics in the set, but it is a mythic, so we'll put that guy aside there. Centaur. All right, and basic land. So, yeah, as I was saying, let me know what you thought of the set, of this whole block. If you liked any of the sets better or worse than the others. Which was your favorite set from the block? Did you draft it this time? Did you have any fun? And Corpse Jack Menace. Cool name. I don't think it's really got much value to it. So, this one's a pretty old set. I'm kind of surprised that I'm able to pick some up as cheap as I am here. So, but the Dragon's Maze and Gatecrash, I think those are kind of pulling the the value of the whole block down a little, I guess. And we got a Wild Beastmaster. Oh, I think there's a foil in here. Yep, foil at the end. Eye in the Sky is common. Very shiny. A lot of shininess because you got that sky there. So far, it doesn't seem like these were nearly as good as the original Ravnica sets, but what newer sets are as good as the older sets, really? I mean, it's hard to top kind of the older stuff. It seems they get weaker every year. Deathrite Shaman, he's a pretty cool card. Good little guy. 1-drop, 1/2, which is good on its own, but then he's got 3 abilities. You can tap him to exile a land card from a graveyard to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. You can pay a black and tap him to exile target instant or sorcery card from a graveyard. Each opponent loses 2 life. Good in multiplayer. You can tap a green and tap him to exile target creature card from a graveyard, and you gain 2 life. You say from a graveyard, so it doesn't have to be your graveyard, which is nice. So he's a good hit. We'll put him up there. Just got kind of a, he's like a $4 or $5 card, I think. As usual, I have just an archaic kind of price list next to me, just to give me an idea of which cards to pull. The cards that you guys probably want to see. Seek the Horizon. This is a pretty cool card, because you can actually search out 3 basic land cards and put them into your hand and shuffle your library for 4, so not bad, but it doesn't let you put any into play, which is kind of weak. It would probably be a like $5 or $10 card if it could do that. Underworld Connections. Enchant land. Enchanted land has tap to pay 1 life to draw a card. So not a bad little rare, but I don't think it's worth a whole lot. So we'll just keep digging here, see if we can find anything. So we're starting off pretty slow. Death Rate Shaman and a probably 50-cent mythic are our best hits so far. But we have gotten a mythic, so there is that. Innkeeper Rakdos Charm is one of the better charms, so that's a good one. Bloodfray Giant and Grove of the Guardian, a rare land. Not the rare lands we're looking for, but it is a rare land. So I think there's a token, a dragon token that might be worth a little, but I have a feeling that was probably just from one of the Planeswalker decks. We'll see if we come across any. Unlikely. Every time I see that card, I see the artist's signature on there, and I think it's like a pre-release. I'm like, what? Why is there a pre-release in the middle of this pack? So anyway, is it Kirun Vandalblast? There's another one of our good uncommons. We'll probably put him aside. And Supreme Verdict. Look at that. That is the second most valuable card in the whole set, according to the price list I'm looking at. Supreme Verdict can't be countered. Destroy all creatures. So cool one there. Good hit. And we got a foil. We got a foil arrest common. Not as foil as the bird we pulled earlier. So, all right, digging through these here. And what do we get here? So far, nothing in the uncommons. What do we get? Guild Feud. So, yeah, that's way too much text for me to read to you. You guys probably know that card already. This is a pretty old set, so I'm not showing you guys anything new, most likely. Unless you're like me and you're a returning player or a newer player. Then you might not be too familiar with these, but I kind of wish they'd put the guild gates like they did in the later Ravnica sets, like Allegiance and stuff, in the basic land slot instead of giving you stupid basic lands and wasting a common slot on a guild gate. But they didn't. Detention Sphere, another good card. All right, now we're starting to get into some good stuff. Detention Sphere is kind of, I think it was up there, wasn't it? Where is it? Oh, all right, so it's only a few dollar card, but still, it's a really useful card. It basically locks down anything your opponent's got out there. Oh, we got a foil the mountain. So basically locks down anything. Just pretty much take a non-land permanent, and it's not a detention sphere, and remove it from the game for as long as that thing's in play. Until they pull out a disenchant, they're losing their card. So cool card. All right, so Reaping, Rogue's Passage. This was another one that's an uncommon that's actually worth a little bit. So we'll probably put that aside. And I've got another mythic. It's a Necropolis Regent. Not a very valuable mythic, but it is a mythic. It's probably just the casting cost. It's a 3 black and 3 colorless, but it is a 6/5 flyer. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put that many 1/1 counters on it. So pretty cool card. Not sure why it's not worth more than it is, but I don't think it's worth a whole lot, so I think it's just one of those dollar mythics, basically, if that. So I guess people just aren't stacking it, probably because the casting cost is way too high. So Phantom General, Arrest, Slime Molding, and Cryptborn Horror. Cool looking card with cool artwork on it, but again, not much to write home about. Oh, but we did get our foil rare. Azor's Elocutors, I think that's what it is. It is a foily rare. It's got the cool little guild symbol on it, which is nice. But yeah, I don't think it's worth too much. But I think in this set the fall rares were still a little bit difficult to get your hands on, so it might be worth a little bit just because of how much harder they were to pull falls in this set. I don't think this is after they ramped them up yet. So Hellhole Flailer, jeez, that's a lovely name. Street Sweeper and Steam Vents, finally our first rare land, our first dual, first shock land. There we go. Let's see how many more names we can come up with. So, Steam Vents is one of the best ones. I think Blood Crypt is the most expensive. Steam Vents is the second most expensive. So, just so you know, there's not a party going on here. My cat just decided he wanted to play while I was doing this video, and he's like 22 pounds, so he makes a massive noise when he plays. So, Mana Bloom is our rare. We'll read that one. Why not? Mana Bloom enters the battlefield with X charge counters on it. Remove a charge counter for Mana Bloom. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Activate this ability only once each turn. That is the downside. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Mana Bloom has no charge counters on it, return it to its owner's hand. So you can recharge it, which is cool. But the fact that you can only use 1 per turn, that's why this is not on the price list here. That's why this is under $1 when this one, if it didn't have that activate this ability only once each turn, that one line right there, if Wizards hadn't put that on this would be one of the most expensive cards in the set. That would be awesome, because you could pretty much double your mana the following turn with this guy. So big mistake there. We got a uncommon foil, and that is great artwork. I like that artwork. She is my type of girl right there. I mean, twisted and probably problematic, probably gonna completely destroy my credit rating, but that seems to be what I'm attracted to, so that's why I'm single. All right, good card. Well, I don't know if it's a good card, but good artwork. So, Giant Growth, holy moly, they reprinted that one. It's been around since day one, literally. All right. Streak Affliction, Skymark Rock, Soulsworn Spirit, and Slaughter Games. Not the games you want to play too often, because, you know, bad. Slaughter bad. Especially that 80s band Slaughter. Oh, God, they were terrible. Whew. Man. That whole glam metal thing, we could have probably done without that. You know, just saying. Alright. Codex Shredder, Thought Flare, Bush Strider, and Nib Mizzet. Nib Mizzet the Mythic comes out to play. I don't think he's worth anything, but he is a really cool looking card. He's just too expensive on the mana cost, as usual. I always liked Niv. I played him a lot in the first time around with the Ravnica. I think that's when he first reared his ugly head. Yeah, so I liked him because I was really into red and blue at the time. So I did build a Golgari deck, of course, but I was really mainly concentrating on red and blue at the time. For some reason, I just like that combo, red and blue and white and black. Always kind of been my favorites as far as 2-color combos. And Niv Elemental. Actually, a pretty cool little card. It's either 1 red or 1 blue, which is nice because you can use them in multiple decks. 1/2. 1/2 1-drops I'm always into. Exile an instant or sorcery spell you control. Put 2 1/1 counters on Niv Elemental. The spell won't resolve. So pretty cool because you can have just like a bunch of one cost sorceries or instants in your deck, and if you don't need them or they're not being effective against your opponent, you can always use them to pump this little guy up and go over and smack him for a little bit. A cool goblin token. So yeah, let me know what your favorite card in the set is. If you're around when this set came out, did you draft it? Did you have fun? Was there any cool kind of broken combos in here? I always want to hear about combos. I love combos. Infinite combos are my favorite. You can check out my other video. Pithing Needle, yay! I do like the Pithing Needles. It's a good card. I've got a couple of the original ones from the Kamigawa block, I think they were. And the couple decks that I kept when I sold my collection, there was pithing needle in the sideboard of each one of the decks, so I still have 2 of the originals there. So that's a good hit. We'll put that one up there in the rare hits pile. So I was hoping to get a few more of those. It's not terribly valuable in this set. I think it's about a $6 card, but great card, great sideboard card. I mean, you got something that's causing you problems, you stack that pithing needle in there and call out that card, and guess what? Not much they can do. Especially, I don't know if it works on planeswalkers. I don't know if what they did with the rule errata on that, but pretty cool card. I do like the pithing needle. Palisade Giant is our rare. Not much there. Don't think he's worth anything. So anyway, is there any good combos in this set, or this whole block actually? Let me know. I posted a video finally of the deck I did keep when I sold my collection the other day. And a Blood Crypt. There's our most expensive of the shock lands. So that's a nice pull right there. We'll take that. So we're up to 2 of the shock lands. Oh, and another foil rare. That's 2 foil rares in 1 box. Apparently this was after they ramped up the foils, because in the old days that would have been pretty much impossible to get. So this must be the more modern kind of foil count in here. So if anybody knows what set they changed that on, please let me know in the comments. I would really like to know which set they started ramping up the foils to where you get multiple foils in a box like that of the rares. So, curious about that. Precinct Captain is our rare in this one. Not much to talk about there. So anyways, I did post a video the other day, my first deck tech video, asking everybody on here to help me kind of come up with ideas how to upgrade that deck to a little more modern setup, because I've not touched it in 12 years, and it's not as effective as it was 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I would stomp Power 9 first or second turn pretty much every time, but played Power 9 a few weeks ago. My local game store owner has a Power 9 vintage deck, and yeah, there's some new stuff that was just shutting me down there. So Death's Presence is our rare. And we're not getting too many of the big uncommon hits. Oh, speaking of uncommons, we got a foil uncommon there. The Rites of Reaping. So, yeah, I need to upgrade that deck. So I did post a video about it the other day. I'll put that one up before I put this one up. Oh, it's already up. Yeah, I already posted that video. So, let me know what you think. If you got any good ideas, it's an infinite combo deck. You should check it out. It's really cool. If you weren't around the Ice Age era. Got a Ice Age card that's completely broken in it. Grave Betrayal, nice. There's another good value card from the set. Not a huge value, but a couple bucks. I love the artwork on the card. I think it's one of the best dragon arts I've seen in a while. So that's a good one. All right. Digging through these packs. Looks like we're about 2/3 of the way through the box now. And so far we've only got 1 Vandal Blast and 1 Rogue's Passage and no Izzet Charms. So the uncommons, as we've talked about before in my other videos, Wizards does make different levels of common, uncommon, or rare, or at least uncommons and rares. Hypersonic Dragon. Wow, that's pretty cool. He's not terribly expensive. He's a 5 mana drop for a 4/4. He uses 2 colors though, but flying and haste, which is really good. And then you may cast sorcery spells as those that add flash. That is huge. That's great for a red and blue deck, because there's a lot of sorceries that if they were faster would be brutal. So that's a cool card. Even though it's not worth much, I think I would actually probably stack that in a red and blue deck. Got red and blue flying deck. So not sure how effective it would be, but yeah, I'd give it a shot. Give anything a shot once. Alright. Still none of those good uncommons. But Cyclonic Rift, there we go. That is the most expensive card in the set. So can't argue about that pull there. It's about a $16 card, I think. So that's a really good hit in the rare department there. Not even a mythic, and it's the most expensive card in the set. In fact, I think the top like 10 cards in the set aren't mythics, they're rares. There's more value in the rare section than in the mythic section, which is good because that means you're more likely to get more of them in a box. So, but still not getting too many of the uncommons. Righteous Authority. Respect my authority. I don't think that one's worth anything. White and blue is not a combo you see too often. Looks like we got an X-Bane Stag foil. Wow, his antlers look kind of bulky. That dude's gonna have some neck problems. I mean, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. But his antlers are fatter than his torso. I mean, that's a little ridiculous there, buddy. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this set or any of the other sets in this block, or what your favorite set is all time. Obviously, don't even bother with the first 5 sets because everybody knows those are broken. Those are the best ones. If they'd have kept on that path, Magic would be much more brutal. So Ash Zealot is our rare. Do we have a foil? Oh, we got a foil mythic. Trostani Silencia's Voice. I don't think it's very valuable. Let me see. Oh, yeah, yep. Okay, so the non-foil is a couple bucks. So there's a possibility that could be a pretty decent pull there. So that's a foil mythic. So far we're up to 4 mythics. One of them is a foil. So hopefully we'll maybe get a couple more mythics out of here. I'm hoping for a couple more shock lands. That would be nice because the shock lands are, those are just playable for forever. You know, it's not something that when they cycle out of a certain modern kind of format or whatever, they're not going to be used anymore. Deathbridge Goliath is our rare. You know, they're going to be used for probably forever because you can only stack 4 of a dual land if you got the original dual lands, and you're probably not going to stack too many without using proxies because they're now like $400 or $500 a piece for the original dual lands. So I don't know that I'm going to actually play with mine anymore. I'm probably going to get some proxies for mine because it's kind of expensive. There's a lot of cards I need to get proxies for in that deck. Check out that my deck video because it's an expensive deck. Looks like our rare is a Wayfaring Temple. How does a temple get all wayfaring? It's a temple. It's not supposed to move. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, what do you guys think about proxies? I think as long as you own the actual card, you definitely should use proxies so you don't damage the cards. But if they're expensive, you shouldn't be proxying commons or anything, but And a Carnival Hellsteed. It's a little demonic horsey with 2 heads that's apparently farting flames. So I don't think it's worth too much. So we'll move on from that one. But yeah, I think if you actually own the cards, you should proxy it up so you don't damage them if they're expensive. But if you don't own the cards, I don't think you should be using the fake cards. Just a kind of a moral thing, really. Silencia Charm, Militant, and Search the City. Search the City. So I don't think it's worth a lot, but it is pretty cool. Pretty cool effect in here. Let me see if I can focus in on it. The text is so small. When Search the City enters the battlefield, exile the top 5 cards of your library. Whenever you play a card with the same name as one of the exiled cards, you may put one of those cards with that name into its owner's hand. Then if there are no cards exiled with Search the City, sacrifice it. If you do, take an extra turn after this one. That's one of those cards you just have to build a deck around, and for a 5-drop, it's kind of hard to build a deck around that. So that's probably why that one's not worth much. And we got another foil, a Sewer Shambler. So I'm getting a lot of foils, so I imagine this is the more modern foil setup. Because we didn't get this many foils, and we definitely didn't get 2 rare foils in the old foil format when it was you were lucky to get a few in a box. They're just a lot harder to pull back then. Of course, I had books full of them that I sold for pennies on the dollar. Temple Garden, yay! We got another shock land. So we're up to 3 shock lands. We got 4 packs left. We're up to 4 mythics, one of which is foil, and 3 shock lands, and the most expensive cards in the set. So I think we got probably 8 of the top 10. I think we're just missing a Sphinx's Retaliation and the World Spine Worm, and Abrupt Decay. Which I might have passed one and not realized it, because, I do that sometimes. Trying to talk and search, and Firemind's Foresight. All right. pretty cool for a red and blue deck. Search your library for an instant card with a converted mana cost 3, reveal it, put it into your hand, and repeat this process for instant cards with converted mana cost 2 and 1. So again, you got to kind of stack the deck in the favor of this one. But pretty cool card. The reason it's not worth any money is because that right there, Wizards just thinks we want to play like 20-minute long games every time we play. They think we're going to actually live long enough to get 20 mana on the field or something. I don't know. But yet they don't give us any acceleration anymore. Now, with power 9, you know, you got Black Lotus and a few Moxes out there getting 7 mana on the 3rd turn. Totally doable. But without power 9, that's not going to happen. I mean, you're just not going to live long enough to cast a 5 casting cost with 2 different... Hey, there's an Izzet Charm. Finally, first one. Azor's Electrocutors non-foil. This is the one, or Electrocutors, Elocutors. This is the one we got foil earlier. That was our first rare foil that we pulled. So I got the non-foil, which is the foil version is probably not worth anything. So the non-foil is probably definitely not worth anything. All right, and of course we didn't get a foil charm. That would have been really nice. We're gonna get a foil uncommon. That'd be the one to get. Gutter Snap, Syncopate. Is it Staticaster? Sphinx of the Chimes. Look at that. That was one of the. It's one of the good ones, isn't it? Nope. Sphinx Revelation. Oh, yeah, Sphinx Revelation. I saw the blue. I saw the Sphinx. I got excited. Yep. That's another one of those 6 mana cost freaking critters. I mean, yeah, he's big and he's flying and. Discard 2 non-land cards with the same name. You draw 4 cards, but it's just too expensive to stack. I mean, it's like, I think Wizards would realize they're just kind of sinking the set whenever they put all these huge mana cost cards in there, because nobody's ever going to stack them. I mean, unless they got some kind of really cool ability. Yeah. I'm surprised this one, the Seek the Horizon, isn't worth a little more. Like I said, if it put at least one of those lands into play, it'd probably be worth a lot more. All right, Pack Rat is our last rare. Wah, wah, wah. Plague Rats, but rare. Well, you can create a token rat, which is kind of cool, but yep. So, anyways, looks like we did really good value-wise, I think, because we got all the most expensive cards in the set. Well, at least a lot of the most expensive cards. We did get 3 of the Shocklands. I was kind of hoping for 4 or 5. We got 4 Mythics, one of which was foil, but they're not good Mythics. They're not worth anything. So the foil one might be a couple bucks, but well, actually, yeah, it's probably more than a few bucks, but still not really huge value there in the Mythic department. We got a lot of good rare value with the Pithing Needle, the Supreme Verdict, the Detention Sphere, and the Cyclonic Rift, and of course we got value with the Shocklands. But I think overall, I probably didn't pay for the box at all. Do quick math here. Yeah, I'm probably still under what I paid for the box as far as the rares and mythics, but you know, it's still a lot of good cards in the set. So a lot of good playable stuff. So, and we did get some. That's the downside of the uncommons. We only got 1 of each of the kind of $1, $2 uncommons. So they're definitely, these are more rare. I mean, these are more rare than they should be. They definitely, you know, they put less of these on the uncommon sheets than the other uncommons. So, you know, they know what they're doing. They know that these are going to be the more playable cards out of the set. So they print less of them and make them scarcer just to kind of pump up the value on them a little bit. And I don't know why they really do that, because you know, you'd think they'd want the whole set to be more valuable, and the boxes to be more valuable down the road, so they'd sell more, because you know they're not getting any money on the back end with the cards, except when they reprint them, which they tend to do. The reprint monster. But yeah, I'm not really sure their whole strategy behind everything, but I'm sure that, you know, they're making billions. I'm not, so I guess they're smarter than I am about this stuff. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on the set and what you think. If you think these boxes are worth it, or you think they're going to go up, you think they're going to go down. Should I snag more while I can, or should I wait and hope they go down more? Yeah, let me know what you think. Are you picking up any of these boxes? Have you opened any? Do you think you get good value out of them? Let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are on anything. You comment anything, I'll reply to it. I really appreciate your time. If you're still watching, I know your time is valuable, so I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please help spread the word. Every like, comment, share helps the algorithms, helps me get more views. So I really appreciate anything you do, and hope to talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.